This is Simeon from PraiseTracks.com, and today is a really special day. If you've been following the live streams recently, I've been talking about the musician slash coder, or the musician that is responsible for creating their own sample libraries. And today is one of those days is where we can, where it's a privilege to be able to actually spend some time and talking to the developer behind the instrument, because you already get a sense of the instrument when you're playing it, and then to meet the person behind it is just really something special. And so today we're going to be talking about the Whole Sounds 1954 Parlor Grand. I think this is the first Baldwin library that I've come across in doing all of the piano reviews that I've done. And this is a really special library. I want to introduce you to Dan. I just want to welcome you to the live stream today, and it's so good to have you a part of this special day. And I just wanted to just introduce you to the audience, and just kind of tell them about how you got started with Whole Sounds, and a little bit behind the Parlor Grand.
Absolutely, sure. I mean, this first piano that I sampled, it's a 1954 Baldwin Parlor Grand, um, and it's been my piano since I was a kid. I guess since I was about 13 years old, my mom bought it for me, and I just always absolutely loved it as a kid, teenager, as an adult. Um, we had an Emerson piano for years, a little baby grand, and when we sort of upgraded to this fantastic Baldwin, I was just happiest kid on the block.
Wow.
Always loved the sound of it, love the way it feels. And so I just had the idea one morning. It's like, okay, I've got a recording studio, I've got mics, I got a computer. Let's sample this and see how it goes. And that was the start of a long process to build this instrument, understand what kind of platform I wanted to put it on, understand how to design and put together a user interface. Took quite a while to understand how to organize all the thousands of samples, all the thousands of
Yeah,
files, and how it all fits in together. It's a cool process, very fun process.
that's great. That's great. So there's another project that you're working on, and I'm going to have links in the description below to make sure everybody can find out about this. But it is an SD10 uh, concert grand piano that I think with this Parlor Grand, didn't you do a Kickstarter for this product as well?
I I did initially, yeah, back in I guess it was 2014. I launched this with a Kickstarter, and I I ran across an SD10. That's Baldwin's 9-foot concert grand piano. It's a really amazing instrument. Their church near Lancaster, Pennsylvania, is selling one, and they very generously gave me a couple of weeks to try to raise the funds to actually buy the piano from them, get it into my studio, and start the whole process
That's
of
great.
sampling it.
And one of the funny things is not really funny, but one of the first concert grands I ever played was an SD10. I was working at a piano and organ store in high school, and and it was after hours, and so they had this concert grand sitting there, and it was that SD10, and it graduated in '83, so it was in like the early '80s, and
Hmm.
it was just I'll never forget that experience of playing that grand piano for the first time. And then, in Kentucky, we would drive to Cincinnati and go to Kings Island and ride the roller coasters. But on our trip there, we would pass the Baldwin headquarters uh,
Right, right.
right there in Cincinnati.
Yep.
So it's just amazing. So Dan, I'm just going to let you kind of live here in this little window here, like feel like the Brady Bunch. but but I'm just so grateful for you to be able to be here with us today. So,
Absolutely.
well, I tell you what, since you're here, why don't you take us
Sure,
through
sure.
some of
So,
the
some of the
controls here?
features, yeah. Um, so yeah, the piano was sampled from four separate mic perspectives. The close mics are two uh, small diaphragm Neumann mics inside the piano, and they give you a very bright sound, very direct sound, very Right, stereo separation.
So I've just got the close mics just pulled all the way up. Yeah, so that's a very nice, tight, close sound.
Exactly right. And it's probably the punchiest sound out of the four for sure. And then the mid microphones are it's a stereo ribbon mic, AEA ribbon stereo.
Oh,
So
wow.
you get a much more realistic stereo field and a warmer tone too. And that mic was placed about like 18 inches outside of the open grand piano lid.
And this is the mid mic. Is that the one we're talking about?
Exactly.
And
Yep.
I love ribbon. I'm in love with ribbon microphones because I don't know what it is. It's just there is something velvety or
Right,
smooth.
exactly.
I just love that silky. And I don't think I have the. Let's see. I do have the air. Now the air is the reverb, correct?
Yes.
So that's with it completely dry. So that's completely dry. And so this is the AEA ribbon microphones.
Yes.
Okay. Now, what did you use for the mono?
The mono is also an AEA ribbon mic, the mono mic,
Okay.
not a stereo. So, and that's set about 8 feet behind the player's perspective. So it's a much mellower, much sort of dimmer sound. To my mind, both the mono mic and the far mics are really intended as complements to
Right.
the close mics and the mid mics, just to sort of add more flavor. Obviously, you can do whatever the heck you want with the mix, but that's kind of the point behind it.
Yeah. So we can kind of blend that in. That's what's
Right.
so cool about having. And then let's go ahead and do the far mics before we tweak it some more.
Sure, sure. And the far mics were the AKG 414s.
Oh yeah.
And they are inside a drum booth with the door open around the corner from the piano.
Wow.
So there's a wall in between and an open door. So you're literally hearing the piano through an open door. It's definitely not a particularly detailed sound. You hear a lot of room.
Yeah.
And there's going to be more noise on that too. So if you play a million notes and let them all ring at the same time, you will hear a bit of background coming up.
Yeah, like the noise floor. And I think
Right.
there is one particular piano that I know that those far mics, when you just have them pulled all the way up and you just let it ring out, you'll hear this. It's like
Right.
they weren't really meant to be that loud.
Exactly.
They're
exactly.
seasonings. They're just
Right.
they're little seasonings there.
A great way to put it.
And
So
yeah.
the little 4-channel mixer just is set up with some very simple mixer functions. There's a pan switch on top, or a pan pot,
Like right
and
there.
you can solo and mute the channels also.
Yeah, that's great.
So,
Well, for
so
those of you
coming-
just joining us, I'm talking with Dan McKinney from wholesounds.com, and we're taking a look at his 1954 Baldwin Parlor Grand. And so we're just continuing to dive into this, and having Dan with us is just such an amazing opportunity. And if it's your first time visiting the channel, go ahead and subscribe and click on those notifications. And one of the things that we're going to do, we're going to actually do a sneak preview of one of his newer projects, and this is not been released yet. Okay, so we're going to go back and just play with the Parlor Grand just a little bit more. So the EQ is really cool too, because each channel can have its own separate EQ setting, each mic channel. Is that correct, Dan?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. And so you just choose the mic here, and as long as it's highlighted, then you have access to all of these controls, the
Right.
compressors, everything can correspond to each mic channel individually, which is really, really cool. Let's just take a peek at the Connelly Chapel Grand, and can you tell us a little bit about that piano?
Sure. I think I actually first, well, it's at DeSales University, which is a university that's very close to me here in Center Valley, Pennsylvania. And I played this piano first, I think when it was almost brand new.
Oh, wow.
They had it in their theater. And at the time it was, I absolutely fell in love with it. I had more fun playing that piano than any other piano I'd ever played in my life,
Wow.
including Steinways. But yeah, it was just so much fun. And then I didn't see it again for many years. And I thought about it though, after producing the 54 Parlor Grand, I thought, man, I wonder if the college still has that piano.
Wow.
So
Now,
literally decades later, yeah, they still did. So
wow. So pianos can get yeah. So listen to the difference in that. So the Parlor Grand is how big of a piano is the Parlor Grand?
5'4", I believe.
Okay. And this one is how the Connelly.
A little bit over 6 foot.
Okay. And then hopefully we're going to have a 9 foot.
Yeah.
So 5 foot, 6 foot, and hopefully more.
Right. And I do have a little Acrosonic, which is one of Baldwin's brands, an Acrosonic Spinet, waiting in the wings to be sampled. So yeah, the goal is to have a whole bunch of Baldwins available.
That's terrific. Yeah, because they're just not there. There's just not there.
Exactly.
There are no Baldwin sample libraries that I know of that exist. And
Right.
you know, and then when you start talking about Kimball, that's a whole other ball game. And the Kimball and Baldwin and some of those companies, they were. I had a Kurtzman. I think it was a Kurtzman piano at home, but these are the companies that started all of this before. What is great is that the Connelly Chapel is one that was that before they changed over?
Exactly. Yeah, this is one of their last American-made models.
And this has Una Corda pedals as well. So so this is just the close mic. Let me just dial up a little mix here. Now, what kind of sound do you typically gravitate towards? Do you like a roomy sound or?
It so depends upon what I'm using it for. If it's solo, yeah, definitely bring in some more room.
Yeah.
Bring in some of the impulse reverbs. If it's a dense mix, then I'm more apt to lean on those close mics to help it really punch through.
Yeah. Okay, I've got the room tone.
Now the room tone is literally the sound of the church, just silent. It's noise.
Yeah, so I dialed that up. So that is the literal sound of silence.
Yeah, right.
So
silence, of course, is never actually silent.
Yeah.
But
so
when go ahead.
Well, the tone layers here is now this is when we have the sustain pedal down. So this is the sustain, the resonance when
exactly on the open strings, correct.
And yeah, so there's I've got some things happening here. but hopefully, and again, this is a pre-release. This is actually running in Falcon because it has to be encrypted and that type of thing to run in the UVI player. And so this is just as beta. It's like a beta piano.
Right.
Let me just I'm just gonna, as long as I can hear. Yeah, just listen to that. how many velocity layers do we have with the Connelly?
There are 15 velocity layers,
Okay.
15 velocity levels. The Una Corda sample set, it's a true sample set. So I resampled the piano again with the Una Corda pedal pressed down. Only 8 velocity levels for that. I did not bother going fortissimo with the Una Corda because
Yeah.
that seemed a little counterintuitive.
Right.
If you got your foot on the soft pedal, it's for a reason.
Right.
So I thought there was no need to go there.
So this is with the Una Corda pedal down. Yeah, you can hear how that tone shifts. It just kind of mellows it out just a little bit. And then that's with it off, and you can hear it open up just a little. And then with it down, yeah. And having the true samples, I think makes, I mean, honestly, I don't think you should call it an Una Corda pedal if you're not using Una Corda samples, because it's just not the same to me.
Right. It's can't really fake that with
Yeah.
level changes in EQ.
Yeah, you can't fake real, not the real.
Right.
Yeah, that's great. Oh man. It's just got a really nice brightness to it. And Baldwin's got its own signature. It just has its own signature sound to it. Yeah. All right. Well, Dan, we're just going to hang around a little bit, and I can let you go, and you can, make sure that you visit Dan's website and then the Kickstarter campaign, and the links are going to be in the description. And I'm just going to hang around a little bit and play some more, and we're going to just kind of go through some more of the things with both of these. And man, thank you so much for joining me. And
Thank you so much for having me. It's been great, Simeon.
yeah, this is fun. It's the first. This is the first, and hopefully not the last time. And it's just such an honor, And when you get some updates or whatever, we'll just keep working on this. And when do you expect to release the Connelly Chapel Grand?
I'm hoping by November.
Okay.
I mean, right now, really, all the pieces are in place. I just got a couple of people, yourself included, just checking the thing out from top to bottom to make sure that there's nothing that needs to be tweaked, pushed one way or another.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. Okay, so we've got Ohm Home says, thanks, Dan. Wonderful libraries. And yeah, so they are. And I think, once again, it comes from your heart, and you can hear that. You can hear, what you've put into it, because I know it's not something you go out and do for fun. You go, hey, let's spend a weekend and sample a piano. It's got to be just grueling and tedious work for sure. So we appreciate it. I know all the users appreciate it as well. So I feel like the Brady Bunch. I can just wave. Okay. Well, you have a wonderful day, and we're going to see you soon. And we're just going to hang around here and just see what happens. See what else happens.
Sounds great.
Okay.
Thanks for the opportunity, Simeon.
Well, my pleasure. We'll see you soon.
All right. Bye-bye.
Okay. Bye-bye. That's incredible. I love being able to have. Yeah, I just. Well, yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing I remember, Dale. When I was working with Baldwin, that was one of the sell points So that was one of the main selling points of the Baldwin is the pin blocks, because the piano would stay in tune so much longer. You're absolutely right. Yeah, I remember that. I remember when they're teaching us about how to sell those pianos. Let's go back to the Parlor Grand and kind of play around some and see what happens with this. Yeah, now we're talking. That's better. But it was so great to be able to talk with Dan and to get to hear, you know, just from the developer, and just to put a face and a voice and just to get to know the person behind the library is just so great. So I'm just going to kind of noodle around some, and the wood impulse response is kind of cool. It kind of gives you a little body to that. And then the air, I just love yeah. So Dan, it was the buffer size. Yeah, we're cooking. It's got a beautiful, yeah, it sounds a lot. Now listen to that response there. So I'm just playing kind of lightly. I'm just kind of adjusting these. It's just got such a delicate warmth to that. Yeah. That's really cool. And then you've got the different noises you can adjust for that, to hear the hammer noises and just all those little itty bitty fun mechanical things that's going on. Pedal, yeah, you've got that going on. All those little things just add a little nuance to. Okay. Let's see, turn down the. You've got a little compressor here as well, EQ, and master volume. Yeah, it's just kind of fun. And then you've got the touch response, and I've got it kind of like, let's see, like at a point 0.3, something like that. Okay. Oh, okay. Can you All right. All right, all right, all right. All right, all right. Let's just see something. Yeah, you can, uh-oh. You can hear that room when you get up here. Have that nice, that delicate sound. And then you can just slam it, you know. Wow. Okay, so let's just go back to the Connelly a little bit. Okay, yeah. So you go from the parlor to this, and then you've got the chapel. And you hear the far mics. Yeah, so I'm gonna turn the far mics down. Let's see. Yeah. So you can hear that naturalness of the room. I want to dial up those mid mics a little bit. Yes. Wow, wow. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, autumn in Vermont. Where in the world did that? he goes again, getting carried away. That's what happens. Let me see. Yeah. Okay, so we've got some reverb here. And let's see, this is just dry. This is just using the room so you can hear. And now we've got some reverb going on. Yeah. So yeah, so we were just having some, yeah. Beautiful. This is just beautiful. Yeah, we were turning up some of the nice reverb. So we've got some different convolutions. You've got the wood and then strings. Yeah, all those little convolution things really kind of help. Yeah. Yeah, just listen to that. I'm just going to mute the mic so you can hear. Very spacious. I'm going to turn the air down. But you just hear that natural release of that. Very nice. Yeah, so I just want to thank everybody for joining me today. It's been kind of a bumpy ride, but it's been fun. We've had some really beautiful moments, and especially being able to talk to Dan and to get some insight and get this sneak peek into this this new library coming out. And let me just pull up the Parlor Grand one more time, and we'll close out with that. Yeah, you hear the difference. It's more of an intimate, close. Yeah, very nice. I've got the wood turned up a little bit. Yeah, anybody guess what this is? This song? I can just see Bill Bixby walking down a lonely road at the end of the day. But see, that's that really dark sound, real nice. Wow. You just hear that the natural, the just the organic whole sound of this piano. Yeah. So what this it's the Incredible Hulk, the old TV series with Bill Bixby and Lou Ferrigno. When that was just like the yeah. I remember those before all the CGI and everything. You had Lou Ferrigno, just in that green makeup. It was just really cool. And but when you're watching it for the first time, it's just like, oh my gosh. Yeah, isn't that interesting? So we can, it's just interesting. Oh wow. Yeah, sounds and melodies just take you in so many different places. Okay, so you know what? It's been really wonderful. It's been wonderful. So if you have any questions, just leave them in the comments below. And again, thank you so much for, for just hanging in here with me. You guys are just, it's just encouraging and so wonderful to be able to share all of these things with you. And I really love sharing, especially libraries like this, where once again, it is the musician coder, the one that is just putting their own blood, sweat, and tears and their heart into the very instrument that you're playing, that's been sampled. And because everybody has a different approach, sometimes you have companies, they crank out all these different libraries and they all have just a certain type of feel to them. But all of these different developers now are just really coming out with things that are very challenging and very beautiful and unique to them. Just like different personalities, and every one of these instruments carries with it a fingerprint, a signature, a heart, and a soul and a passion in it that we can enjoy. So it's great to be able to support them when we can. And links are going to be in the description. Links to Dan's Kickstarter for the SD10, as well as just more information. You can learn more about the Connelly Chapel Grand, which is coming soon. And once again, this is Simeon from PraiseTracks.com, and thank you guys so much for joining me. And I can't wait to see you real soon with the next live stream or video premiere. Thanks for all your support. There are so many ways that you can support us and support the channel here. It's me and my wife and our cat Sabin and and Chewbacca and. So we so appreciate everything. So until next time, we'll see you real soon. Thanks.